Objection!
Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What's in the Snickers bar?
It's blood! What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
So you're charging me more blood for not having enough blood? I don't make the rules here.
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. It must have been Chief Gant. With his master code of 7 sevens. And his master fingerprints of, it looks pretty much like... Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country.
Actually, it's not.
Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
I literally want your death. Just because of you pissed me off. Who's your favorite waifu from My Hero Academia?
I don't know if there's any... I don't know, man.
I'm asking Jake Marshall.
I know you know. I know. That's why I'm struggling.
It's 2016.
I don't...
So that means that it's...
I don't know where the manga was in 2016.
Well, he's only got one answer, and she shows up immediately, so...
Froppy.
Okay, that's an acceptable answer. It's not what I wanted, but it's fine. Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. Y'all know why.
Present. The Blue Badger!
He was Joe Dark. His soul is in the thing.
Yep. That case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? We're pressing on this because obviously...
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
His last name was Dark, so obviously he was evil.
In the Phoenix Wright universe, this is accurate. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murderers, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me.
He had an accomplice whose name was recorded as Damo Can't. And we never figured out who that was.
Something went down there at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at these files. So I present to this.
Yeah.
And I present this. Shit. Officer Marshall, I think I understand.
I accidentally did the right thing, says Nick.
No, I hit the right button 3 times, but it wasn't working. So I thought my controller had died. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you all been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I only do peyote on the weekends, and don't call me partner.
Partner.
Shut the fuck up. I'll come over there and punch you in the dick.
Try it, partner.
I will.
It's high noon.
Ha! Now I've punched
The
you in the
sound of
dick.
Phoenix getting punched as he approaches the man who got into a fight.
But I still managed to punch you in the penis, even though you punched me in the mouth. Haha, fuck you.
Come on.
I have the SL9 incident file right here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Oh. What? I fucking missed that. Yeah, Neil Marshall. Shit. I was too busy fucking noticing the weird... So many names are from our goddamn D&D group.
They're not actually, but okay.
The first names are. Almost all those first names have shown up in our group.
Not
So
all of them, but okay, fine. Whatever.
Neil Marshall. Were you related to this man? Was he your son? Oh, dude, was he your son? Did your son get murdered?
Maybe press the button so he can give an answer.
Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure y'all have heard the name.
He was 6 years old and he really liked cowboys, and I used to be a simple Japanese businessman from
button.
LA.
2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award y'all got. What? A prosecutor?
Oh, this is dumb. He must be talking about that King of Prosecutors award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed, and the case fell into your hands.
But what's
His relation to you? He was my brother.
Dude, he looks like a Cowboy Bebop character. not Jake, but Neil.
Yeah.
He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police.
But then Gant killed him. Yeah, so that is him down in the
group of
fucking bottom
detectives
left.
I was part of worked under them.
Yep.
And you told me he was
desperate.
nobody. Fuck
No, I
you.
didn't.
Yes, you
We
did.
were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Oh, yeah, he's a murderer.
Joe Dark.
There's no denying it. That is not only a murderer, but that's Damon Gant's best friend.
My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say.
He was murdered by Chief Gant.
No matter how much you try to hide it, y'all can't fool me.
I'm pushing this so hard because if I don't push it hard, I'm going to forget about it by the time we finish this case. But also, if I'm right, then I get to rub it in your face forever. And if I'm wrong, then I just have to suffer the consequences.
Rub what in my face?
That I figured it out so quickly. The Gant showed up, and I was like, oh, he's bad.
I don't... What do you mean rub it in my face? I don't give a shit if you're right or wrong.
Well, at least one thing's for certain.
I think that you do give a shit if I'm right. Because I'm Phoenix Wright, and if I ever read Phoenix Wright...
Oh, we
not
know what
Phoenix
happened
Wright
at the
science,
police
you're
department on the day of the crime. That wasn't the last day the SL9... That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened.
I thought it was like 15 years.
No, that's for unsolved cases.
Oh.
This was a closed case.
Okay.
Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
Exclamation point.
The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime.
The only other person who was working with Chief Gant directly during the murder investigation, the SL9 one.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Scott.
Yeah, I gave context to that first. But wait, there's more. A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
Yeah, but...
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seemed to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
Stop it!
All the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prospector's office. God damn it, Marshal! Prosecutor's office. This only suspect is Lana Sky, and the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case.
That was 7 words in the xylotl.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt about what I proved today and how it's true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fucking fake. But I didn't realize that this cost me tomorrow. I mean, that this would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Hold it. From Ema Sky. Called it.
Your Honor, wait!
Emma!
The defense has an objection, a scientific objection! Right?
What the fuck?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor, it is kind of...
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Aww. Now we wait for 3 minutes.
I was
Buckle
kind
up,
of
viewer.
in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, she did have a... I mean, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
But that's what I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day, so I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured out I'm very excited.
Chicken noodle soup, Emma, chicken noodle soup.
Scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue.
Chicken noodle soup, Emma.
Chicken noodle soup.
Okay, I'm glad you're
So
not.
I ran over there and looked at it again.
So did you find something?
No.
What?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all you had for us?
Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have if we can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh shit. Here we
Time's
go
up.
again.
Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a fan print was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry it can't be of more use, but still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's right fucking now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I need to object.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know what to... The handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. Empty words.
The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yeah, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yeah. The blue badger. Yeah, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? What about that piece of plywood?
Oh, thank God I got it right. The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
I'm having a stroke. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So
Watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Completely blocking that one locker.
well, what?
That's right, bitch. So long as the Blue Badger is fucking dancing right there, it'd be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
What?
Yep.
So that means, just what exactly does this mean?
Means it can't be done. Oh,
Fucking Christ.
I didn't even know, man.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found at that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think through it scientifically.
Emma,
On that afternoon,
someone had to come and slap him awake.
Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right?
Yep.
After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment, I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice.
But how?
Well, you see, Chief Gant killed Bruce Goodman in there with a vase and then took his body out of there and then...
Please continue.
Okay. I just need to see what time the Blue Badger was put in there.
It was Edgeworth, he's the murderer.
No, it was the person who came in at 4:20. Because it was within an hour and a half of 4 p.m.
Please continue.
Okay.
We're so close to being done.
One
I'm
time was
so
captured on this
hungry.
tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other blood. See how its head is like perfectly stopping it? Shit. Someone bled prior to the struggle being shown on this tape, and it had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. I'm the best.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, it does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
Either this or this.
The autopsy report is so vague that it's like all it knows is when an hour and a half before. It's not very good proof of anything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's also this, but no. 512.
Why would that
over
prove that there was a crime committed in the...
No, Brennan, I was like, that's over 30 minutes away from when the murder happened. That's all I was trying to brain out there. Take this. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to have entered it. And in order to do so, an ID card would be required.
An ID card? Oh, the ID card record.
Yes. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at...
Let's see here, 4:50 p.m.
Yes.
If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done? I never would have figured y'all.
It wasn't Miles!
Boy. Drop the act, witness. Doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. No buying getting it.
Obviously.
I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7 sevens.
Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
With 7 sevens. Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7 sevens, who I'm probably going to guess is going to turn out to be Lana Sky.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. That's 17 too many.
Haha! Say it, I'll let you retroact it right now.
Get over yourself.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Objection. That's fucking stupid.
I'm not finished talking, Mr.
Who
Wright.
watches The Watchmen, Edgeworth?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation where we might be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
An official charge?
Y'all are all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana?
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder.
Dude, Edgy, don't tell him not to be who he is. Okay? Just...
Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777.
solid.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident?
The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did y'all really only use legitimate evidence?
No, obviously.
Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, Did y'all really present all the evidence in court? Can y'all look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that y'all did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't!
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is.
Things will never be the same.
We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence.
Everybody's speechless.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order! 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 Order!
This is you.
Lana's remarks caused such a stir, the chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Shit went down.
You readjusted and got all comfy right for us to end for the day.
God damn it.
Fucking idiot.
You're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot.
You're my best friend.
Fuck you. I'm done. I'm so hungry.
You're my best friend.